Welcome to a workshop on toilet training young children. During the workshop, we'll be walking you through the three main phases involved in toilet training your child: preparing for toilet training, starting on the first day, and the training steps. We'll also take a look at advanced toileting skills and ways for you to monitor your child's progress. Following this plan will ensure that both you and your child are prepared for this next phase of independence. Part 1, Preparation. Before you begin to toilet train, it is really important to plan ahead and be prepared. This will make the process smoother. Have a discussion with all the caregivers that will be involved in toilet training your child and decide on a start date. Make sure you pick a day that will allow everyone to devote their time to the toilet training process. To make it more exciting for your child, mark the date on the calendar and talk with him about Big Boy Day as you count down to the start date. Make sure everyone is prepared to use the same words and phrases during toilet training. For example, "It's time to go pee." It is important to keep these words consistent in the beginning so your child is not confused. Build a positive association with the bathroom as you count down to your start date. You can do this by playing music or playing with fun toys in the bathroom. You can even decorate your bathroom with stickers or toys of your child's favorite TV characters. During this time, move all diapering, cleaning, and toilet-related dressing to the bathroom. This helps your child to make the connection between urination and the bathroom, which is now a fun environment. If possible, set up opportunities for your child to watch older brothers or sisters or other family members use the toilet. Again, make it a fun experience. Get a toilet ring that can be placed on top of your toilet seat. It is important to make sure that your child is comfortable and supported when sitting on the toilet. Although you may want to consider using a potty, we strongly recommend that training starts on the toilet. This eliminates extra teaching time down the road when moving from the potty to the toilet. Get a step stool that can be used to support the child's feet while sitting on the toilet. His hips, knees, and feet should be at a 90-degree angle for maximum support. This ensures that your child's leg muscles are relaxed, which makes it easier to urinate or have a bowel movement in the toilet. The stool can also be used to access the sink for hand washing. You will also need a supply of cloth underwear for your child to wear when the start date arrives. If possible, involve your child in picking out the underwear and remind him that he can wear it when Big Boy Day comes. Take the time to review the order of the training steps on the Toileting Independence data sheet so that you are ready to begin when the time comes. Be sure to make lots of copies. We'll be talking about the use of the data sheet later in the workshop. It is important to know that gathering information or collecting the data is a key component of toilet training. It will be used to track your child's progress, help you to determine when to fade your assistants, and to identify areas that may need extra teaching. Think of some highly preferred items that you can use to reward your child's success on the toilet. Favorite items such as candies, chips, and cookies are recommended because they can be delivered in small quantities and are consumed quickly. You can also try stickers or short access to a favorite toy such as playing with Elmo for 2 minutes. It is very important that your child does not have free access to these items outside of toilet training. Otherwise, these items will lose their value as a reinforcer and your child may not be motivated to work for them. Keep a supply of these items in the bathroom, but out of sight and out of reach. If you are using a food treat, try not to let your child see the whole bag, or else he may keep asking for more. If the things your child really likes changes from day to day, you might try filling plastic eggs with small toys or treats to motivate him with novelty or surprises. Or you can have a small container of a variety of treats and allow your child to choose one. Part 2, the first day. So, you've counted down and your start date has arrived. Take a deep breath, go for it, and don't look back. During daytime hours, pull-ups and diapers are now a thing of the past. They are to be used only for nighttime. Dress your child in underwear only or choose pants that are easy to push down and pull up. You'll have to do a little more laundry in the beginning, but it will be worth it in the end. Encourage your child to drink lots of liquids. This will increase the frequency of urination. You want to have many trips to the toilet throughout the day so that your child gets lots of practice and more opportunities for success on the toilet. If possible, keep a set of clean pants, underwear, and socks in the bathroom so that they are readily available when accidents occur. This will make things a little easier when you need to change wet clothing. Bring the data sheets and a pen into the bathroom so that you can easily fill in the information after each toilet trip. Store them in a permanent location so that everyone has easy access. The data is very important because it helps you track your child's progress. Part 3, the training steps. You will need to keep an eye on the clock and on your child. Initiate the toilet trips every 45 minutes or when your child shows clear signs of needing to go. This will pair the gotta go feeling with going to the toilet. It is important to follow the same sequence for every trip to the toilet you initiate. This helps your child become more familiar with the routine and expectations. Let's take a look at the sequence we recommend you to follow. First, approach your child and say, "It's time to go pee," or whatever phrase you have decided to use. Then, walk to the bathroom with him. Once you're there, have him pull down his pants and underwear and sit on the toilet. Your child should sit on the toilet for at least 2 minutes, or longer if he doesn't resist. Give him some toys, books, or other interesting material to keep him relaxed while he sits. It is important to give your child an opportunity to complete as many of the above steps as independently as possible. Provide physical help as needed, but not more than is required. The best way to do this is to stand behind your child, give gentle hand-over-hand assistance in the beginning, and then let go as your child begins to perform the movements. Be prepared to help again if needed. It is important for your child to experience success and avoid frustration without becoming dependent on your help. For example, if your child is having difficulty pulling down his pants, give hand-over-hand assistance from behind to help him get started. Make sure his hands are doing the work and let go as soon as he is experiencing success. Try not to give verbal instructions during toilet training. Otherwise, your child may become dependent on you telling him what to do. In general, physical help from behind without verbal instructions closely mimics how it would feel for him to do it by himself. Try not to talk to your child while he is sitting on the toilet. If he is trying to get your attention, say, "First pee, then talking." It is okay if your child continues to talk. Just try not to respond. If your attention is reinforcing, you can praise him for sitting on the toilet, but don't engage in conversation. Again, you are trying to create an environment that will closely mimic how it will feel for your child to go by himself. If your child is successful on the toilet, immediately show him that you're proud by giving a reinforcer and lots of excited praise. Be sure to do this within 2 seconds of him urinating or having a bowel movement in the toilet. Then complete the following steps, giving as little help as possible. Wipe if necessary. Have your child stand up and then flush the toilet, or wait until he is out of the room if the noise is likely to scare him. Have him pull his underwear and pants up. Your child should then wash and dry his hands, and then return to the previous activity or a new one. If your child is not successful after 2 minutes or so, end the toilet trip. Say something neutral like, "Toileting is finished." Try not to show your child that you are disappointed so that toileting does not become associated with negativity. Complete the following steps, giving as little help as possible. Have your child stand up and pull his underwear and pants up. Your child should then wash and dry his hands, and then return to the previous activity or a new one. It is important to take your child to the toilet every 45 minutes and to complete the same steps in the same order each time. Although it's time-consuming, your child will get lots of practice with the steps and will have many opportunities for success. Putting the time in now will pay off later because lots of practice leads to faster learning. Monitor your child's progress. After a few weeks, or once he becomes familiar with the routine and begins to experience success, increase the time between toilet trips by 15 minutes. For example, schedule trips every hour and then every hour and a quarter as your child is able to remain dry. Remember to take a few minutes to record the results from every toileting trip, whether your child has been successful or not. The information you record will help you see your child's progress and help you identify areas where he may need extra practice. This checklist is also a visual reminder for all the adults to follow the same steps in the same order.
Part 4. Advanced Toilet Training. Expect that your child will have accidents between toilet trips. This is a natural part of the process. It is very important that your child's soiled clothing is changed as soon as possible. Feeling wet clothes against the skin for long periods of time will desensitize your child to the discomfort. Remember to stay calm and speak to your child using a neutral tone of voice. Say something like, "Billy, Pico's in the toilet, you need to change now." Following the same guidelines as during training, provide minimal physical assistance from behind. Your child should go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet for 2 minutes. He should then clean himself and change his clothes with as little help from you as possible. Try to avoid talking to and making eye contact with your child so that accidents do not result in lots of adult attention. Once your child is consistently successful during the day and having only a few accidents, you can then attempt nighttime toileting. There are a few tips to keep in mind when you decide to tackle nighttime toileting. Limit your child's liquid intake in the evenings and try to avoid giving fluids for 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Have a regular time for going to bed. Have a consistent bedtime routine, which includes toileting just before going to bed. Take your child to the toilet as soon as he wakes up in the morning. If your child still wakes up wet most mornings, consider adding some nighttime toilet trips. Some parents find it helpful to initiate a toilet trip before they go to bed themselves. Others set an alarm during the night and wake up to initiate toilet trips. If you decide to do this, start with every 4 hours, but if your child is consistently wet, you may need to make them more frequent. After the first couple of weeks, you should have a good idea about how often and at what time your child needs to go during the night. If you are consistent, your child will become used to waking up in the night to go to the bathroom and will begin to do so before accidents occur. Bowel control generally emerges later than bladder control. Expect that your child will begin to experience more bowel success after a urination routine has been established. Look for signs that indicate that your child needs to have a bowel movement. Common signs include squirming in their seat, pulling at their pants, or going to a secluded area in the house. Keep a close eye on your child. If you see the signs, take him to the toilet right away and begin the routine. Remember to remain calm and reassuring. If you panic and rush your child, he may become scared and anxious, which can slow your efforts or even create an aversion to the bathroom. Once your child is sitting on the toilet, make sure his hands are not on the toilet seat. Some kids tend to hold their weight on their arms, which keeps their body tense, making it difficult or impossible for the bowel movement to occur. You may need to give your child a toy or a book to occupy his hands. This can also help him to relax and take his mind off of toileting. Some parents find it helpful to have an adjustable table that can be pulled up to the toilet and used for fun activities while waiting for the bowel movement to occur. Part 5. Filling in the data sheet. Throughout the workshop, we mentioned that it is very important to collect data during toilet training because it will help you to monitor your child's progress and identify problem areas. Store the data sheets and a pen in your bathroom so that everyone can easily fill in the information after each toilet trip. Provide the data sheets to other caregivers who are also involved in toilet training your child. Now let's take a look at the tracking form. Start by recording the date, the time of the toilet trip, and who took your child to the bathroom. Looking at the IND column under toileting sequence, put a check mark beside each step that your child completed independently without any help from you. Looking at the P column, put a check mark beside each step that you prompted, or in other words, that you helped your child complete. In the beginning, you may need to help with every step. That's okay, but remember to fade your assistance as soon as possible. Add up the number of check marks in the IND column and record the total out of 10. Add up the number of check marks in the P column and record the total out of 10. Circle yes if your child urinated or had a bowel movement in the toilet. Circle no if he didn't. Circle ACC if the toilet trip occurred because your child had an accident. If you circle ACC, also record either yes or no, since your child will sit on the toilet after accidents. Under comments, jot down any information about the toilet trip that you think is important. For example, illness, new pants, or lack of sleep may affect your child's independence or toileting success. Over time, you should notice that more and more of the check marks fall into the IND or independent category. If you notice that your child is having difficulty with one or more of the steps, there are a few things you may want to try. You can show your child a visual for that specific step, or use a toileting sequence to help him follow all of the steps. Here is an example. Go to the washroom, underwear down, sit on the toilet, flush the toilet, underwear up, wash hands. Remember to place the visuals at your child's eye level. You can also provide extra practice for that step. For example, you can have your child wash and dry his hands at different times during the day. Finally, be sure that you are not providing more help than your child actually needs. If you are too quick to assist, he may wait for you to help him instead of trying to do a step on his own. If your child continues to have frequent accidents, look back over your data sheets and take note of the times of day that ACC was recorded. Look for general patterns. You may need to add a toilet trip to your child's daily routine in order to avoid accidents. For example, perhaps you usually take your child to the bathroom at 12:15 because that's when the 45 minutes is up. However, if you find that your child is usually wet or soiled during this toilet trip, you should alter the schedule and add a toilet trip at 12 o'clock in an attempt to prevent the accident. A good rule of thumb is to schedule a toilet trip about 15 minutes before the data indicate that accidents generally occur. You may need to adjust this time period if you are still unable to prevent accidents. Remember, your data will guide your decisions about timelines. This concludes our workshop on toilet training. Remember, toilet training takes time and patience. It won't happen overnight, so be sure to have reasonable expectations of both yourself and your child. Now that you have a good plan, pick a time to get started, and remember, have some fun and celebrate your successes along the way.